And the majority of the spells that got updated for this one is fire. And their notes say, spell audit continues. Many fire spells have received tweaks to better align the school with its expected identity as the predominant DOT school. Anyhow, let's get to those fire spells. Now, I haven't switched over to my fire yet because he doesn't have Brimstone Revenant. Thanks a lot, Loremaster, for dropping it on my storm. Alrighty, currently in live, it does 470 damage and then 25% fire trap. Well, that's what it says on here, but now it costs 2 fire pips instead. They've lowered, I guess you would say lowered the requirement for all the lore spells. The lore spells now only require the school pips. But that means that lower level wizards can't use these, so that sucks. Unless, of course, you have a Mastery Amulet. There's that too. And then as you upgrade it, the damage goes up very meagerly, honestly. It only goes up by 5 each time. But that is what the original one did as well. So really for Brimstone, the only thing they changed was the requirement of 4 pips is now 2 fire school pips. And now that we're on our fire, check out the rest. Alrighty, Krampus, the path is still the same at only 3 tiers. And there's 2 different paths that you can take. Let's see the difference. In live, it does 305 to 345 damage, and then gives a mantle of 45%. This one looks the same as far as that. It is now requiring 2 fire pips instead of the 4 pips, but the damage actually went up. Awesome. I like that. So the upper tier does exactly the same, just the damage goes up and the mantle it gives stays the same. The lower tier, however, I'm not going to say it doesn't do any damage. First, it detonates in overtime. Then it does 510 damage protected over 3 rounds. I don't know if that's like after or what. I'm thinking it's after. It probably detonates on this round and it puts the OT on you, and then the next round it starts hitting them. That's what I think that one does. I just wish I got enough to max it out before they switched it from Loremaster. Alrighty, Fire Cat. So before, the upper path cost 1 pip, and if you went to the lower path, it cost 2 pips. They've actually changed that back to both of them costing 1 pip. Let's see what else has changed. Alright, so the very first one, tier 1, the one you learn, does 80 to 120 damage. That looks exactly the same. And then for the upper path, it just did more variable damage, with the max being 110 to 130 damage. Yep, that looks the same. And also the accuracy, it goes up as you go along. And then this bottom path now, I know that the damage is definitely different. It does 40 to 60 damage and then detonates in overtime. And then still costs 1 pip all the way across. Accuracy stays the same all the way across. And then the damage goes up by just a bit each time. And then the lower path, previously the damage was a lot more, but it also cost 2 pips. So it's nice to have this back as a 1 pip. I like to use the Fire Cat, honestly, to do like a really big hit with a high pip spell and then detonate immediately with this, because you can use detonate for 0 pips, or you can use the Fire Cat, do a little bit of damage and detonate. So hey, it's always a bonus because you can also enchant these with your sun spells. So even though it's like, oh, it's only doing 55, well then it can do 355 and detonate. So that's nice, I think. And Fire Elf. Currently in Live Realm, the bottom path does a little bit of damage to 1 target and then 150 overtime to all enemies. This one, yeah, looks like they're about to run out of room here for the utility for this one. Okay, so this one does 150 overtime to 1 target and then clears a shield for an additional 120 overtime for 3 rounds, which is pretty cool. Then as you upgrade it, only the initial overtime damage goes up and the possible 120 stays the same, and it's not like per shield, so it's not like that increases. So that one's interesting. And both paths are costing 2 pips. Unfortunately, it seems like the accuracy doesn't increase on the upper path like it does on a lot of other schools. It actually didn't increase originally anyway. But just saying, a lot of other schools get an increase in the accuracy for the plain old damage or one that resembles the very initial card, but that's okay. Just a reminder that this is test ROM. This is not set in stone. This is just their initial reworking of these spells. Next, Nautilus. The current Nautilus is a little bit crazy. It's one of those ones that has an upper path that splits in half into 2 different choices at tier 5, and then the lower tier it just has its upgrade. So in Live Realm, it steals a charm and then does 380 to 460 damage. And now it steals a charm, does 415 to 505 damage, and it costs 3 fire pips instead of 5 regular pips. And the upper path is just like the initial learned card where it steals a positive charm and then just does more damage as you go along. Unfortunately, apparently it's a fire trend, that the accuracy doesn't increase as it goes along. The lower path, however, pushes 2 traps. It's showing a picture of like a regular trap, not a like negative ward, which would be a trap on you. So I don't know if that's what that is. I don't know if it's supposed to be pushing a trap that's on you and then doing a DOT on them, because you don't want to push what's on somebody else onto you and then do a DOT. So yeah, but normally they would use this symbol that's right there. They call it a jinx. Oh, this is nice. They've added what the pip thingies look like, although it would be nice if they showed the actual pip that you're going to be looking at. But the fact that they even added it in here is nice. But yeah, if it was a trap on you, it would look like this. So I'm hoping it's not actually pushing traps on them onto you. But I could just be reading this wrong, and it costs 3 fire pips, still has 70% accuracy. And then the overtime, yeah, I'm not sure what they were doing with the numbers. It's 368 over 4 rounds, protected. Can't remove it or whatever, and then 380, and then 388, and then 400. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. Any extra roonies? Let's see, did they change Inferno Salamander? It doesn't look like it, although it was shown on some teasers that it was changed. However, it has been changed in the fact that this is now protected over time, and it's 4 rounds, so I don't know why they didn't mention this one. It's not on their list. Nope, they have Brimstone, Burning Rampage, Hephaestus, Krampus, Nautilus, Detonate, Firecat, Elephant, Immolate, Phoenix, Sunbird, Blast, Fire from Above, Raging Bull, and S'more Machine. So sorry for those wizards that have a Spellman upgraded spell that actually removes DOTs. Sorry, I guess you'll have to just use it twice, I guess, but I don't know if you can use that in 4 rounds. And Hephaestus costs 3 Fire School pips now. Previously it was 5 regular pips, did 340 to 420 damage, and then put a 25% Fire Global. This one still does the same, they just changed the pip cost to Fire pips. Let's see what they say about Arch Mastery as the first level when you can use that. It does say if you're high enough level to automatically have some Arch Mastery stat, which would be level 50 plus, they say. So it doesn't completely exclude you from being able to use these, because I mean, I don't know if that's just to sell those level 50 elixirs or what. Level 50 is really not that hard to get to. It doesn't take long. And Sunbird has definitely been changed. Sunbird used to do variable damage when you first learn it, and then the upper path you just keep upgrading that damage and increasing the accuracy actually, which is nice. On the lower path it did a lot less damage and then extended in overtime. Still costs 3 pips. Everything on the initial and the upper path stays the same. Now on the bottom path it does 245 fire damage or 430 if the target has an overtime. Also luckily they kept the accuracy boost on the upper path. Nice. Except for Inferno Salamander, it doesn't look like the Beast Moon spells are changed. And Immolate, initially it did, you take 200 damage and give 600 damage to the target, and then the upper path you still took 200 damage and then the damage that you gave out increased, and then the lower path you took 150 damage and did 450 damage and then a heal over time for yourself. And let's see, the damage you gave out and the heal over time actually increased. I liked having a heal for fires. They don't have hardly any. I know they're DOT masters, but come on, man. So it looks like the upper path is exactly the same, only the lower path has changed. Now it's 180 damage to yourself and then 460 over 4 rounds to the target, clearing some traps, which is nice. See, there's the trap icon, so I know they use that right. So yeah, but this one actually increases the damage that you take in addition to increasing the damage that you give out over 4 rounds. So yeah, and you still only clear 2 traps. And Phoenix does variable damage, and then the upper path increases the damage and the accuracy as you upgrade that. However, in Live Realm it does 500 damage and then 185 more damage per overtime on the target, max of 1 until you reach the final tier, which is a max of 2. So then you can get like a lot more damage on that. I just upgraded my Phoenix too. Yeah, everything's changed. Now, in a test realm, what they changed it to is the variable damage and then a heal over time per overtime on the critter. So this one has now become the healing spell, which I don't mind that. I'm glad that they didn't completely take it away because I liked the damage and then the heal over time. And this is a Mondo heal over time. This is crazy. So you're doing 480 to 500 damage and then 360 over 3 rounds. That would be 120 each round per overtime time. I'm guessing up to 2 of those heal over time. So potentially you could be getting 240 every round if they already have 2 overtimes on them. Notice that it didn't say fire overtime, which is good. It could be a death overtime. It could be an ice overtime. It could be anything. If you're lucky enough to have one, it could be a storm overtime. And then the variable damage on them goes up, and the healing on you stays the same, and the per overtime stays at 2 for each of those, and the pip cost stays the same at 5. I like the change to Phoenix. That's nice. I will probably use it a lot more. My fire's a young guy anyway, so he doesn't have all the cool shadow spells. This makes me want to, once I max out my ice and my storm, I'm definitely going to focus more on my youngers. And finally for his list, Elephant. So the initial spell and the upper path, they are exactly the same as in the current live realm. Starting on tier 2, it does 600 damage, and then 225 overtime if they have a shield. Sweet. And then the damage and the overtime, if they have a shield, go up as you upgrade that. This new one, however, clears 3 shields for 185 protected fire damage over 5 rounds, then 540 damage. If they could only use that for like a boss, because you don't want them mobs to stick around that long. So if you were to use detonate on this, would it then immediately do this one? I don't know. I don't know. We haven't seen a fire DOT over 5 rounds before. Interesting. Yeah, let's test out all of these. Oh, free. It better be free during test realm. I'm just saying. Okay? This should always be free in test realm. Let's try the bottom path this time. Okay, so with detonate, they just changed the wording to detonate 1 over time, dealing 100% damage, as opposed to destroy it. Because, I mean, I get it. I get it. That sounds not so great. But for any of the spells that I'm not able to show off for fire, Atmoplex is definitely a great place to see those. Yeah, I want to see what this one does. So let's reset it. Reset. And now I'm going to upgrade it to the bottom path. So we very much like the mantle, but you know, I'm going to reset this to try out the lower path. The detonating one, and then doing the overtime. Yes. Now before I just run into battle willy-nilly, let's get this deck going so that all these spells can possibly work together. Okay, we have the detonate, and we have the detonate with the fire cat. Got a couple big ones from the fire dragon. I don't even want to do with the blades right now. All right, we got clearing shields. I don't know if these guys are going to use them. This one also clears shields. So maybe this one, if it doesn't have shields to clear, then it doesn't do the overtime. Maybe that's what it means. So first it clears shields, then puts an overtime on them, and then does the 540 damage. Okay, I think that's what that does. And Emily's going to do damage on me, do overtime on them, protected, and clearing any wards that I might have. That's a protected OT. So wait a second, does that mean I also can't detonate it? And then Krampus detonates one and then puts an overtime on them. Sunbird does additional damage if they have an overtime. Phoenix does damage and then a heal on me per overtime. This one's pushing traps and then overtime for 4 rounds. Let's go, Doodle Caps. Thank you, overtime, for just being there. So let's boost up the Krampus and see what it changes. Now it does 735 over 3 rounds. Nice. I'm not going to boost up my accuracy either. Let's just pass. Because we want to test out the utility of the Krampus, so we need an overtime first. And now the Inferno Salamander goes to 1081 over 4 rounds. I like it. We shall do Inferno Salamander on you, even though it's totally going to kill you. Yay, Fizzle! Oh, you know, it'd be a good combo for him because he has overtimes. That's why I gave him a Daybreaker and Nightbringer. Yeah, you could totally do, I think it's Nightbringer who does it afterwards, and then cast Detonate with Nightbringer on it, and then cast something, I don't know, really high damage overtime, and then it'll immediately detonate. That is possible. Well, I don't have any traps on me, so I don't want to use that one yet. Thanks for fizzling the 1 overtime you had up. And yet again, clearing stuff. So let me get rid of 1 of those, and hopefully we can get some sort of overtime to pop up. Well, I guess let's just do the Krampus, because it'll still put something on for 3 rounds. Thank you for not fizzling, I appreciate it. Luckily the cold jumped around more, but that might have just been me. Feels like really long. Okay, so it's protected. Now let's see if we can detonate a protected one. Maybe the protection protects it from being removed, but not detonated? We shall see. Well, I guess we could just cast Krampus on you again and see. This one's a boosted one, so... Eesh. Sorry. Oh, wait, no. That's pretty rough. Back-to-back Krampus. Just spam the Krampus. Okay, so it did detonate it, even though it was protected. Nice. Can't wait, what? Okay, I was gonna say, it looked like it's hitting all of them because the angle switched, but... Okay, there you go. You're dead. Goodbye. So sorry. Okay, let's see if we can get another OT going. Guess we could do Nautilus. It's not going to clear any traps or anything because I don't have any on me, but you know. They're asking if the spell animation itself is kind of messed up, but as of right now, it's not. Yep, there's the OT. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3. Now 4 fire pippers. Okay, so now let's do this Sunbird. I'm not going to boost it up, but it's conditional if they have an overtime. So let's do that. Yeah, because we're not clearing anything right now. But we do know the detonate works on a protected overtime. So I wonder if life is going to get protected overtime as well then. That would be sweet. Boosh! Nice. And they're done for! Now we need to find someone who's going to give us traps. I'm going to go visit those fire trees. Cool. Okay, well, we'll keep this one as is. I would love... So we need 7 pips total to use a fire elf and then a phoenix. So let's just wait. Maybe I'll have some traps on me by then. You never know. Okay. You don't have any shields, but we'll still use the fire elf. It's just not going to do additional stuff. Oh. Alright, now I'm going to do the Phoenix. So let's give ourselves a heal over time. Yeah, because we don't have any more overtimes for these guys. So let's just go hit this one. The good thing is I'm pretty sure even if you defeat them, they had an overtime, so you'll still get the heal overtime on yourself. Boosh. Good. You're not dead. Woo, 360 over 3 rounds. And that's nice. If you have outgoing and incoming healing, it boosts that heal over time for you. Well, let's boost up that fire cat and kill you. And because you're gonna get me, let's Krampus you. I really love the idea of just Krampus spamming. That's fantastic. Boosh. Storm you. Haha, you defeated. Sweet. One thing I didn't think to check, I just purchased a spellment for Glimpse of Infinity. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh, you have to be, what? You have to be level 150 to get it though. Darn. Darn, darn, darn. I'm just saying, it could have been awesome. Could have been awesome. I actually really like the changes that they've made to the fire spells. I really hope that life can get some of that, obviously an opposite equivalent, but yeah, I'm excited to see that. And I've just been corrected by Glenn Kate. Thank you so much for correcting me. When it shows the school pip on there that's required for the spell, and the number next to it. The number next to it in the upside down triangle is the normal pips that you need, and then however many of these school pips you need will be shown in their school pip symbol. The one you can easily tell is the brand new balance spell, which requires 2 different school pips, but only 1 of each of those. So for instance, Brimstone Revenant is not 2 fire pips, it's 2 pips and then 1 fire pip. Or Headless Horseman, it's not 3 death pips, it's 3 pips and then 1 death school pip. Same thing with Queen Calypso, it's not 2 storm pips, it's 2 pips and then 1 storm pip. So thank you so much again, Glen Case, for correcting me. I've been saying it wrong the entire time, but it took me forever to record this and even longer to edit it. So I'm putting in this disclaimer right now that I've been saying it wrong the whole time. So this is how you properly read those spell cards. Thanks so much everyone for checking out the current round of spell audits in Test Realm, and we will keep you updated on the next ones to come, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!